Tonight, we're diving deep into the forgotten secrets of the Hoenn region. For those of you who've been joining us consistently, I want to thank you for being such an integral part of our channel. If you're falling asleep with us tonight, let me know in the comments how many nights in a row you've been here. And if this is your first night, just comment day 1. Now let's get back to the video. Close your eyes for a moment and listen. Can you hear it? The distant, rhythmic crashing of waves against a jagged shoreline. The low, guttural rumble of a volcano stirring in its sleep. The faint, whistling wind as it whips through the cracks of a towering stone pillar that reaches toward the stars. If you grew up in the early 2000s, these sounds aren't just background noise. They are the heartbeat of a world that defined a generation. This is the Hoenn region. It is a land of emerald forests, sapphire seas, and ruby fire. It is a place where the very earth beneath your feet and the water surrounding you are not just geography, but the slumbering bodies of gods. For many of us, Hoenn was more than just a game on a handheld screen. It was an escape into a tropical frontier that felt vast, dangerous, and deeply ancient. We remember the smell of the salt air in Slateport City. We remember the crunch of volcanic ash under our boots on the jagged paths near Laveridge Town. We remember the eerie, bioluminescent glow of the underwater trenches where the sunlight never reaches. But beneath the nostalgia of our childhood journeys lies a narrative far darker and more complex than we ever realised as children. The story of Hoenn is not just about a young trainer becoming a champion. It is a chronicle of cataclysm. It is a history written in meteor strikes, continental shifts, and a war between the land and the sea that has been raging since the dawn of time. Why does this region continue to haunt our memories 2 decades later? Why do we find ourselves returning to the shores of Littleroot Town when we need to find peace? It is because Hoenn represents the ultimate balance of nature, a balance that is constantly being pushed to the brink of total annihilation. The stakes of this world are higher than almost any other in the Pokémon universe. We are talking about the literal reshaping of the planet. When Team Magma and Team Aqua sought to awaken the super ancient Pokémon, they weren't just looking for power. They were inviting an apocalypse that had already nearly wiped out humanity thousands of years prior. To understand Hoenn, we have to look past the tall grass and the gym badges. We have to look at the stars. We have to look at the Draconid people, the ancient keepers of law who watched the heavens fall and prayed for a savior to descend from the ozone layer. We have to look at the tragic cycle of the weather trio, Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza, 3 entities so powerful that their mere presence alters the laws of physics. They are the behemoth, the leviathan, and the ziz of this world, and their conflict is etched into the very stones of the Cave of Origin. There is a mystery here that goes deeper than most players ever suspected. Did you know that the Hoenn we remember might only be one branch of a fractured timeline? The secrets hidden within the Delta episode and the ruins of the Sky Pillar suggest that our journey was part of a cosmic struggle involving multiverses, ancient kings from distant lands like Kalos, and a prophecy that spans 1,000 years. We're going to peel back the layers of this tropical paradise to reveal the bones of an ancient civilization. We will explore the silent, sandy depths of the desert where the ragey golems were sealed away by a terrified populace. We will stand at the edge of the Sootopolis crater and imagine the night the sky broke open. This is a journey for the dreamers, for those who find comfort in the lore of the past and the quiet beauty of a world shaped by myth. We are going back to the year 2002, back to the Game Boy Advance, and back to the secrets that were hidden in plain sight. So, settle in. Let the familiar melodies wash over you. We are diving deep into the forgotten history of the Hoenn region, a place of endless summer and ancient shadows. The tide is rising, the earth is trembling, and the sky is waiting. Let us begin. Imagine, if you will, the world before it had a name. A world of raw, unbridled energy, where the elements had no boundaries. In the beginning, there was only the chaos of the primal age. This is where the story of Hoenn truly starts, long before the first Pokeball was ever forged. It starts with two titans. One, a behemoth of magma and stone, strode across the cooling crust of the earth, dragging continents behind him. Every step Groudon took created new land, pushing back the void and carving out mountains that touched the clouds. But for every inch of earth, Groudon claimed, but the sea fought back. Kyogre, the titan of the trenches, summoned storms that could drown entire civilizations before they even had a chance to begin. These two forces were not just rivals, they were fundamental opposites. They were the immovable object and the unstoppable force. Their battle wasn't just a fight, it was the process of creation through destruction. The Hoenn we know, with its beautiful archipelagos and towering volcanoes, is essentially the scarred battlefield left behind by these gods. But what kept the world from being torn apart entirely? What stopped the endless cycle of drought and flood? The answer lies in the emerald light that streaks across the night sky. Rayquaza, the mediator, the High Lord of the atmosphere. While the land and sea tore at each other, the sky remained the ultimate arbiter. This trinity of power is the foundation of everything we experienced in our youth. Yet as children, we often miss the sheer scale of the terror these beings represented. We saw them as sprites on a screen, but the lore tells us they were world enders. The people of Hoenn, specifically the Draconids, understood this. They lived through the falling fires. They saw the meteorites strike the earth, bringing with them the energy required for mega evolution and primal reversion. They built the Sky Pillar, not as a challenge for trainers, but as a monument of desperate hope, a way to reach out to the only thing that could save them from the wrath of the earth and the sea. As we move through this history, we have to ask ourselves, what happened to the people who lived through these eras? The ruins scattered across Route 111 and the Braille messages left in the sealed chambers tell a story of fear. The people of Old Hoenn were so afraid of the power they had witnessed that they sealed away the legendary giants, Regirock, Regis, and Registeel. They didn't just hide them, they locked them behind riddles and codes, hoping that the secrets of the Titans would be forgotten forever. But secrets have a way of surfacing. Whether it is the ambition of men like Maxie and Archie, or the curiosity of a new champion, the past is never truly buried in Hoenn. It is always just beneath the surface, waiting for the right orb, the right stone, or the right person to wake it up. Tonight we aren't just looking at a timeline, we are looking at the soul of a region that was inspired by the real-world island of Kyushu, a place defined by its own volcanic history and relationship with the sea. We will see how the geography of Japan influenced the layout of Fort Tree City and the hot springs of Lavaridge. We will connect the dots between the ancient King AC and the ultimate weapon, and how those ripples reached the shores of Hoenn. We will discuss why the music of this region, with its triumphant trumpets and sweeping orchestral themes, feels like a call to adventure that never quite ends. This is a deep dive into the nostalgia that keeps us warm, a tribute to the games that taught us about the delicate balance of our own world. From the quiet peace of a secret base hidden in a cluster of trees to the terrifying majesty of a primal god awakening in the cave of origin, we are going to cover it all. So, take a deep breath. The air is getting humid, and the scent of tropical flowers is heavy on the breeze. We are stepping back into the tall grass. We are going home to Hoenn. The Nintendo Game Boy Advance hums to life in your hands, that soft glow piercing the dim room as the startup jingle echoes, a crystalline melody of possibility, layered over the faint whir of the cartridge slot engaging. You feel the weight of it, plastic cool against your palms, screen flickering from black to brilliance in those first electric seconds. And then there it is, the emerald horizon stretching before you, a 16-bit tapestry of swaying palms and cerulean waves crashing against jagged cliffs, the air thick with the scent of salt and blooming orchids you can almost taste through the pixels. This is Hoenn, born in 2002 on that very console with Ruby and Sapphire. A world that pulls you in, not with grand castles or shadowed forests, but with the endless dance of sun-dappled waters and volcanic peaks piercing the sky. You step off the ferry, or perhaps you boot up right in Little Root Town, the sleepy hamlet tucked into a verdant valley, and the map reveals its secret at once. Hoenn isn't some abstract fantasy. It's Kyushu, Japan's southernmost main island, rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise, its familiar contours twisted into something profoundly new. The rugged spine of its mountains becomes the eastern barrier, reefs and soaring plateaus of Route 101, while the calderas and hot springs of Aso and Beppu reshape into Mount Chimney's brooding fury and Laveridge Town's steaming baths, where the earth exhales in rhythmic sighs. Feel the ground beneath your feet shift as you traverse it, the island's real-world pulse mapped pixel by pixel. Kyushu's Pacific coast curls into Hoenn's western shores, Slateport City's bustling docks mirroring the ports of real-life hubs like Kumamoto, alive with the creak of ships and vendors hawking fresh catches under canvas awnings. Head north, and the rotation flips the inland valleys into the desert expanses of Route 111, sand whispering across ancient ruins that echo Minamiaso's forgotten quarries, where Regirock slumbers in stone tombs carved by time itself. The air grows heavy with ash from Mount Chimney, drifting like grey veils over verdant-turf town's pristine meadows. Kikuchi's clean breezes reimagined as a sanctuary for Wally, the frail boy whose quiet resolve hints at deeper currents beneath the surface. But Hoenn's true heartbeat lies in its precarious harmony, a volatile truce etched into every contour. The lithosphere rises defiant in crimson magma flows and unyielding granite spires, Groudon's primal domain where the Earth's crust buckles and reforms. Clash this against the hydrosphere's relentless surge, Kyogre's oceans swelling to swallow coastlines, tides pulling at Slateport's market stalls with insatiable hunger, turning streets into rivers under perpetual storms. And hovering above, the atmosphere churns in Rayquaza's watchful coils, ozone-scented winds slicing through thunderheads, maintaining the fragile equilibrium that lets palms sway and Wingull cry overhead without the world unravelling. You sense it in the dual word names that roll off the tongue like waves on pebbles. Little Root Town, where Professor Birch's frantic cries pierce the wild grass. Ever Grande City, its league looming like a mirage over Victory Road's labyrinth. Sootopolis cradles the cave of origin in its meteor-scarred crater, waters lapping at limestone walls that hum with ancient power. Meteor falls cascades in silvery threads, Draconid guardians murmuring prophecies amid glowing fungi and plummeting stalactites, their eyes fixed on the heavens for the next falling star. Sky Pillar thrusts skyward from a forgotten atoll, vines choking its spiral stairs, a monument to the dragon that enforces peace from the stratosphere. This balance isn't mere backdrop. It's the soul of Hoenn, whispered in the ceaseless rhythm of rain pattering on Dewford's shores or heat mirages dancing over Moville's steel towers. A human ambition frays its edges, Team Magma dreaming of continental sprawl, Team Aqua craving submerged paradises. But the land remembers, volcanoes rumbling warnings, seas foaming with unrest. The orbs pulse in hidden vaults atop Mount Pyre, red and blue jewels binding legend to reality, guarded by those who know the cost of imbalance, floods that drown Petalburg woods, droughts cracking Falaber's fields. As you wander these rotated realms, the emerald horizon beckons deeper, unveiling the cataclysmic forces that first sculpted this paradise from primal chaos. What fury ignited the wars between land and sea, only for the sky to intervene in a blaze of meteor fire? That story unfolds next in The Birth of Land and Sea, where the super ancient Pokémon awaken to reshape everything you thought you knew. That familiar outline of Hoenn, twisted 90 degrees from Kyushu's rugged coasts and volcanic spines, didn't emerge from quiet geology. It was forged in cataclysm, born from the raw clash of two titans who hungered to remake the world itself. Deep in the planet's fiery cradle, before continents settled or oceans found their beds, Groudon stirred first. A colossal beast of sun-scorched earth and molten fury, it erupted from the mantle, like the heartbeat of creation, pulsing through stone. You can almost feel the tremor underfoot, that primal rumble shaking loose the first solid ground. Groudon's body, armoured in crimson plates that glowed like cooling lava, heaved upward, birthing landmasses from the void. Mountains thrust skyward in jagged defiance, valleys carved themselves in deep, fertile scars, and vast plateaus spread like the arms of a god claiming dominion. Every step it took compressed the crust, raising islands from submerged chaos, painting Hoenn's backbone with rivers of magma that hardened into the black sands of future beaches. This was no gentle terraforming. Groudon embodied the relentless drive of expansion, drawing natural energy from the Earth's core to fuel its insatiable growth, turning a formless globe into a world of enduring solidity. But land alone breeds no life without the sea's embrace. From the abyssal depths, where pressures crush stone to dust, Kyogre awakened in answer. A leviathan of sapphire scales and tidal wrath, it uncoiled through the planet's watery veins, flooding the newborn shores with unrelenting force. Imagine the roar of waves crashing before waves even existed, primordial surges that swallowed Groudon's proud elevations in foaming deluge. Kyogre's fins sliced the skies, summoning storms that lashed the fledgling continents, while its maw exhaled primal currents, expanding oceans to mirror every inch of land with mirror-blue vastness. It siphoned the same natural energy Groudon coveted, primal orbs of power pulsing in their cores, fueling an endless cycle of submersion. Coral cradles formed in its wake, trenches yawned like wounds in the seafloor, and the first true seas lapped at Hoenn's edges, balancing the land's ambition with fluid dominion. Together, they sculpted the region's duality, those interlocking peninsulas and ringed atolls that would one day hold Little Root Town and Slateport's bustling harbours. Harmony shattered the moment their ambitions collided. Natural energy, that ethereal lifeblood coursing through Hoenn's veins like liquid starlight, all became their battleground. Groudon roared defiance, its drought aura baking the seas to steam, cracking the ocean floor to reclaim dry earth. Kyogre countered with precipice blades of ice and fury, its drizzle shroud unleashing monsoons that eroded mountains to silt, drowning the land in vengeful floods. This was the endless war, a primordial apocalypse that defined Hoenn's geology in scars of fire and flood. Continents buckled and reformed, volcanoes spewed ash that blackened the skies for eons, while whirlpools the size of regions tore at the coasts. The air thickened with the scent of brine and brimstone, thunderclaps echoing like the gods' rage. Natural energy warped around them, amplifying their primal states, Groudon's hide blazing with solar flares, Kyogre's form swelling with hydrostatic might until the planet teetered on annihilation. Hoenn's calderas, like the gaping maw of Mount Chimney, were born from these lashes. The desert expanses of Route 111, etched by evaporated seas, even the serene hot springs of Laveridge, remnants of cooled magma veins. Every cave, every reef, every fault line whispered of this war, a foundational fury that layered the region in tension, waiting to crack open again. The world could not endure such imbalance. From the stratospheric veil, where ozone shimmered like a dragon's iridescent scales, Rayquaza descended. The sky's eternal guardian, serpentine and emerald-winged, coiled through the roiling clouds, its presence a sudden hush amid the chaos. No primal fury drove it, only the delta stream's pure command of the heavens, in weaving air currents into barriers that neither drought nor deluge could pierce. It struck with mega potential, latent in its form, eyes blazing like twin meteors, forcing the Titans apart. Groudon recoiled into subterranean slumber, banished to the searing chambers beneath what would become the Magma hideout, its energy sealed in volcanic isolation. Kyogre plunged into the watery abyss of the Cave of Origin, locked in crystalline depths where echoes of its gales still murmur through Sootopolis' cratered cradle. Rayquaza, victorious arbiter, ascended once more to the ozone throne, leaving Hoenn's surface scarred but stable, a delicate truce etched into the land itself. In that fragile peace the continents breathed, oceans whispered against shores, and the cycle of land and sea found uneasy rhythm. Natural energy flowed balanced once more, nurturing the seeds of forests in Verdanturf's clear airs and the ruins half buried in Route 114 sands. Yet the Titans slumbered uneasily, their war's embers glowing faint in Hoenn's core, a prophecy of recurrence hanging like storm clouds on the horizon. As guardians emerge from the shadows of meteor falls to watch over this hard-won equilibrium, their ancient vigil hints at legacies yet untold. Stay with me as we uncover the Draconid legacy, where meteor wishes and forgotten prophecies bind the sky's wrath to Hoenn's fate. As the dust of that endless war between land and sea began to settle, leaving Hoenn's newborn continent scarred and its oceans churning with unresolved fury, a resilient people rose from the shadows of the cataclysm. They were the Draconids, Hoenn's oldest civilization, born not from the primal roars of legends, but from the quiet endurance of those who watched the skies for salvation. These ancient guardians traced their roots to the mist-shrouded caverns of Meteor Falls, a place where waterfalls plunge endlessly into glowing pools, their roar echoing like the breath of awakening dragons. Here, jagged cliffs cradle fragments of celestial stone, meteorites that crashed eons before Groudon and Kyogre even stirred. The air hangs heavy with the scent of damp earth and ozone, illuminated by bioluminescent fungi clinging to walls etched with the first human hands, symbols of coiled serpents and falling stars. Meteor Falls wasn't just a landmark, it was the cradle of the Draconids, their ancestral home where they first learned to read the heavens' wrath. Long before written records or stone tablets, the Draconids gathered under those relentless cascades, their skin marked with scales mimicking the dragons they revered. They were keepers of dragon lore, oral historians who memorized the songs of Rayquaza, the Sky High Lord whose emerald coils could pierce the storm clouds and command the winds. While Groudon expanded the earth and Kyogre flooded the depths, the Draconids turned their eyes upward, convinced that true balance lay not in the ground or waves, but in the ozone veil where Rayquaza slumbered. Their legacy truly ignited 2,000 years ago, when the skies darkened, not with the fury of legends, but with a barrage of meteors that turned Meteor Falls into a furnace of fire and fury. Feel the ground tremble beneath your feet as massive rocks from the void streak across the horizon, slamming into the falls with thunderous cracks that shatter stone and vaporize water into steam clouds. The impacts unearthed strange energies, pulsing crystals that resonated with the planet's core, awakening Groudon and Kyogre from their deep slumber in primal forms. Hulking behemoths radiating heat and tidal force, their clash reigniting the endless war on a scale that threatened to unmake Hoenn entirely. In that hour of desperation, the Draconids did not flee. They stood firm, their elders chanting ancient invocations amid the chaos, eyes fixed on the largest meteor hurtling toward their sacred home. This was no random catastrophe. It was a divine trial, they believed, a celestial forge testing their resolve. With rituals honed over generations, offerings of rare herbs that burned with otherworldly light, dances that mimicked Rayquaza's spiral flight, they beseeched the meteor itself as a conduit. As it plummeted, embedding deep into the fall's heart and cracking the earth open, a wish rippled skyward, carried on the updraft of superheated air. Rayquaza descended then, a streak of green lightning uncoiling from the stratosphere, its roar drowning out the legend's primal bellows. The Draconids had summoned it, not through force but through faith in the dragon's role as arbiter. Rayquaza quelled the Titans, forcing Groudon back to its Magma lair and Kyogre to the ocean trenches, restoring a fragile peace. The people emerged from the rubble not as victims but as chosen stewards, their bond with the Sky Saviour sealed in the glowing scar of that first great meteor strike. From this victory bloomed their most sacred duty, safeguarding the red and blue orbs, twin artifacts unearthed in the Fool's depths, pulsing with the essence to control the land and sea beasts. Hidden in lairs like Mount Pyre's spectral heights, these orbs became the Draconid's charge, passed through bloodlines sworn to prevent hubris from awakening the primal duo again. But they did more than guard, they prophesied. At the heart of Draconid lore lies the Delta prophecy, whispered in cavern tongues and carved into Meteor Fall's walls, a foretelling of cycles etched in the stars. The Delta, they named it, that fateful meteor's shape as it split the sky like a draconic trident, symbolizing the three forces of land, sea and sky converging. It promised not endless doom, but periodic returns. Every 1,000 years, another meteor would blaze, testing the world anew and heralding Rayquaza's revival as the Sky Saviour. They envisioned it descending once more, coils shimmering, to mega-evolve in a blaze of primal reversion, halting catastrophe and affirming the balance. The Draconids wove this into every facet of their existence. Children learned to navigate the Fall's treacherous ledges by starlight, memorizing constellations that mapped meteor paths. Elders donned robes embroidered with Delta emblems, retreating to hidden shrines where orb replicas glowed under perpetual waterfall mist. Even their daily lives pulsed with reverence, fishing in the Fall's pools for dragon-scale fish, whose iridescent hides foretold weather shifts tied to Rayquaza's moods. They built no grand cities, preferring the raw embrace of their homeland, where every echo reminded them of their role: watchers, summoners, prophets. Yet whispers among the elders hinted at greater trials ahead. The Delta's first strike had been a warning. Its echoes lingered in the orb's hum, growing insistent. All they spoke of sub-tribes dispersing to Mount Pyre and Sky Pillar, fortifying against those who might covet the power. Early hints of human ambition mirroring the legend's own wars. Rayquaza's intervention bought time, but the prophecy's rhythm pulsed onward, counting down to the next convergence. Deep in Meteor Falls, where the largest meteor fragment still juts like a blackened throne, Draconid shamans would gather under full moons, their voices harmonizing with the water's rush. They foresaw the Sky Saviour's return, not as myth, but inevitability, tied to a meteor that would demand even greater sacrifice. This legacy endured through isolation, their dragon lore a beacon amid Hoenn's evolving tapestry, ensuring the skies remained vigilant. And as the centuries ticked toward that prophesied mark, the Draconid's vigilance faced its ultimate test in the 1,000-year impact. A cataclysm that would forge new legends from meteor fire and mega-evolutions, drawing every force of Hoenn into its blazing grasp. But as the echoes of that first devastating meteor strike at Meteor Falls faded into legend among the Draconids, 2,000 years ago, a far greater calamity descended upon Hoenn, one that would scar the earth itself and etch the crater of Sootopolis city into its very skin. This wasn't a shower of shooting stars, it was a colossal meteorite hurtling through the atmosphere like a fist from the heavens, blazing with an otherworldly fury. You can almost feel the ground trembling in anticipation, the air thickening with the scent of scorched stone and ionized sky. It slammed into the heart of what would become Sootopolis, excavating a vast basin overnight, ringed by sheer cliffs that still stand as silent sentinels today. The impact reshaped the landscape, in an instant. Rivers diverted, forests incinerated, and a newborn lake cradled in the crater's depths, its waters unnaturally still, as if holding their breath. Dust clouds billowed for weeks, blotting out the sun, turning day into a perpetual twilight where the Draconids huddled in their cliffside shrines, chanting ancient hymns to the sky dragons they revered. What made this meteorite truly apocalyptic wasn't just its size or speed, but the immense natural energy it carried, raw primordial power harvested from the cosmos itself, pulsing like a heartbeat, too vast for the world to contain. That energy seeped into Hoenn's veins, igniting the slumbering giants far below. In the deepest chasms of the Cave of Origin, primal Kyogre stirred, its massive form expanding with veins of sapphire light, scales hardening into an armor of ancient ice and primal fury. The oceans responded instantly, swelling with unnatural tides that flooded coastal villages, waves crashing with the roar of thunder, drenching the land in relentless sheets of rain that never seemed to end. Across the region, in the molten heart of the Earth's crust, near what we now call the Magma hideout, primal Groudon roused from its geothermal tomb, its body ignited crimson magma coursing through fissures in its rocky hide, sunlight pouring from its back like solar flares. Drought cracked the soil wide open, lava rivers snaking across the plains, baking the air into a shimmering haze where every breath scorched the lungs. The two behemoths, fueled by the meteorite's boundless energy, clashed once more in their eternal feud, land against sea, expansion against submersion, tearing Hoenn apart at the seams. Earthquakes split mountains, tsunamis swallowed shores, and the sky wept acid rain mingled with ash. A symphony of destruction that made their primordial wars seem like mere skirmishes. The Draconids, guardians of this fragile balance, knew they couldn't stand idle. From their vantage in Meteor Falls, they watched the chaos unfold, their meteor-scarred homeland a grim reminder of celestial wrath. Drawing on rituals passed down through uncounted generations, they gathered at the fall's edge under the cover of that apocalyptic storm. With voices raised in unison, they channeled their deepest wish, not for survival, but for intervention, focusing it upon fragments of the fallen meteorite, still glowing with residual energy. This was no ordinary prayer. It was a pact with the stars, a human plea infused with the same cosmic force that birthed the crisis, and the heavens answered. Rayquaza descended from its ozone perch, coiling through the clouds like a serpent of pure emerald lightning, eyes blazing with draconic judgment. But this summoning unlocked something unprecedented, an evolution born of desperation and divine resonance. As the Draconid's wish merged with the meteorite's power, Rayquaza underwent its first recorded mega evolution, a radiant transformation that rippled across its scales, sprouting a jagged mane of delta wings, its body elongating into a form of unparalleled might. Mega Rayquaza, the apex of skyborne supremacy, all surged toward the battlefield at Sootopolis, its presence alone parting the warring storms. With a deafening cry that shattered the crater's cliffs, it dove between primal Groudon and primal Kyogre, forcing them into submission through sheer aerial dominance. No blows were needed. Its megaform radiated an aura that suppressed their primal states, reverting the land and sea titans to their dormant shells. Groudon sank back into the magma depths, Kyogre retreated to the abyssal caves, and Hoenn exhaled, the skies clearing to reveal a fragile peace. This event marked the birth of mega evolution in recorded history, not through a stone or bond alone, but through the raw alchemy of a human wish granting divine power, proving that even mortals could touch the gods when the stars aligned. In the aftermath, the Draconids raised the sky pillar on a distant shoal, a towering spire of weathered stone piercing the clouds in eternal honor of Rayquaza's sacrifice. There they inscribed their prophecies on meteorite-forged tablets, warnings of the next celestial harbinger in 1,000 years, a cycle of destruction and renewal that bound their fate to the skies. Sootopolis city rose from the crater's ashes, its domed shrines and tranquil waters a testament to resilience, forever whispering of that 1,000-year impact. Yet whispers among the elders hinted at deeper connections, shadows from distant lands where kings and ancient trees intertwined with Hoenn's fate. Those shadows grow longer as we approach the tale of the king and the tree, where a war-torn ruler from afar plants seeds that echo through the ages. What secrets did he bury at the cave of origin, and how did they foreshadow Hoenn's next unravelling? As the echoes of that colossal meteorite strike 2,000 years ago faded from the Sootopolis crater, and primal Groudon and primal Kyogre were once more lulled into slumber, by Rayquaza's intervention, Hoenn entered a fragile era of balance. The Draconids, ever vigilant, etched their prophecies into the stone walls of Meteor Falls, warning of cycles that would repeat. Yet 1,000 years later, the land stirred again, not just from celestial fury, but from an unexpected wanderer from across the sea. This outsider was no ordinary traveller. He was King AZ, the immortal ruler of distant Kalos, a man burdened by 3,000 years of grief and unyielding life. In his homeland, AZ had unleashed the ultimate weapon, a towering machine fueled by the life force of countless Pokémon, obliterating his enemies in a war that scarred the earth. But victory came at an unimaginable cost, his own eternal curse, a body that refused to die even as his kingdom crumbled and his loved ones turned to dust. Driven by remorse, AZ roamed the world, seeking meaning in forgotten corners. His Floette companion, the sole flicker of warmth in his endless exile. It was around 1,000 years ago that his path led him to Hoenn's mist-shrouded shores. Drawn perhaps by whispers of primal forces or the pull of natural energy pulsing from the cave of origin, AZ ventured deep into the region's heart. The cave of origin, that sacred womb beneath Sootopolis city, where Kyogre slumbered, hummed with an ancient rhythm, the ebb and flow of sea and life intertwined. Here, amid dripping stalactites and pools reflecting starlight, AZ knelt. From his weathered hands, he coaxed a seedling into the fertile soil, nurturing it with the last vestiges of his weapon's forbidden energy. This was no mere plant. It grew into the eternal tree, its roots delving into Kyogre's cavernous domain, branches stretching toward the heavens as a defiant emblem of peace and rebirth. Picture the scene in your mind's quiet drift, the tree's trunk twisting like veins of pure vitality, leaves shimmering with an otherworldly glow that warded off the shadows of conflict. AZ planted it as atonement, a living vow that life could flourish without domination, that the scars of war might heal under Hoenn's dual suns. The Draconids, who revered all forces of creation, accepted this gift from the stranger, weaving it into their lore as a bridge between worlds. For in that tree, they saw echoes of their own guardians, the red and blue orbs that tamed the weather trio, symbols of harmony imposed on chaos. But fate, as it often does in Hoenn, refused serenity. Even as the eternal tree took root, a primal meteorite plummeted from the skies, slamming into the heart of what would become Sootopolis city. Its impact carved deeper into the existing crater, unleashing torrents of natural energy that surged through the land like liquid fire. Primal Groudon erupted from its volcanic lair, expanding continents with seismic roars that shattered mountains. Primal Kyogre rose from abyssal depths, flooding valleys with primordial oceans that swallowed forests whole. The sky blackened, torn between drought and deluge, as the endless war reignited in full fury. The Draconids, descendants of those who had faced this peril 2,000 years prior, sprang into action. From Meteor Falls, they channeled their ancient rites, offering meteor shards to the heavens in a desperate wish. Rayquaza descended, ozone crackling around its serpentine form, But this time, the meteorite's fragment, a jagged, glowing stone, unlike any before, ignited something unprecedented. Rayquaza Mega evolved for the first time in recorded history, its body elongating into a colossal dragon of pure sky dominion, wings slicing through storm clouds like blades of light. With Mega Rayquaza's power, the beast reverted Groudon and Kyogre to their primal states no more, forcing them back into slumber. The eternal tree stood witness, in its leaves rustling in the aftermath, absorbing the residual energy as if to seal the peace AZ had envisioned. This convergence was no coincidence. Those meteorites raining upon Hoenn carried secrets from Kalos itself. Fragments of AZ's ultimate weapon, shattered across dimensions during its cataclysmic firing 3,000 years earlier, had traversed the Pokémon Multiverse, leaping through rifts between regions, timelines, and worlds. In Kalos, the weapon drained life to forge eternal weapons. In Hoenn, those same cosmic remnants summoned dragons and sparked mega evolutions. King AZ, lingering in the shadows of the Cave of Origin, beheld Rayquaza's transformation with wide-eyed recognition. He saw in it the key to his own redemption, the infinite potential locked within stones and stars, a power that could unite rather than destroy. Whispers among the Draconids suggest AZ himself offered counsel, his immortal gaze piercing the veil between Hoenn's legends and Kalos's tragedies, hinting at alternate Hoenns where the meteor falls differently, where Groudon triumphs or Kyogre drowns the world. The Eternal Tree became more than a monument. Its presence stabilized the Cave of Origin, a counterforce to the primal energies below, ensuring that future awakenings might find balance before annihilation. Travelers to Sootopolis even today feel its subtle pulse, a reminder that peace is planted, not conquered. AZ departed soon after, his Floette fluttering at his side, but his mark endured, linking Hoenn's meteor-scarred destiny to the broader tapestry of the Pokémon world. And as the dust settled once more, Rayquaza ascended to its lofty sanctuary, the sky pillar rising in its honor, a tower piercing the clouds, etched with prophecies of the next cycle. In the next chapter, Secrets of the Sky Pillar, we'll uncover the hidden rituals that summon the Sky Guardian and the chilling visions of Meteor's inevitable return that still haunt the Draconids today. With the Eternal Tree taking root in the Cave of Origin, its branches a silent vow against the chaos below, the Draconids turn their gaze skyward once more. They understood that true balance demanded a sentinel above the fray, a structure worthy of the dragon who commanded the heavens themselves. And so, rising from the jagged cliffs of Route 131, the Sky Pillar emerged as Hoenn's most enigmatic monument, a colossal spire of weathered stone that clawed at the clouds like a frozen bolt of lightning. Crafted from the very meteorites that scarred Meteor Falls, its foundations hummed with primordial energy, interlocking slabs etched with draconic runes that glowed faintly under moonlight. No mortar bound its tiers. Instead, the stones interwove through some lost art of the ancients, defying gravity and storm alike. Winds howled eternally through its hollow core, carrying whispers from the ozone layer high above, where Rayquaza slumbered in perpetual vigil. This was no mere tower. It served as a beacon, its peak crowned by a crystalline shard that pulsed with otherworldly light, signaling the Sky Guardian whenever land and sea threatened to collide once more. Imagine scaling its perilous heights, your footsteps echoing on stairs, worn smooth by centuries of pilgrim Draconids. Each level spirals upward, narrower and more treacherous, until the air thins and the world below shrinks to a tapestry of ocean and island. At the summit, the barrier shimmers, a veil of raw atmosphere, passable only by those pure of intent. Here, Rayquaza awaited, coiled in the stratosphere, its emerald scales blending with the auroral haze, eyes like twin comets scanning for imbalance. The pillar wasn't built to house the dragon. It called to it, a lighthouse for the ozone's protector, ensuring that when primal roars shook the earth again, the mediator would descend. But the true secrets lie etched within its walls, where murals unfurl like a chronicle of doom. Vast frescoes, painted with pigments ground from meteor dust and sea foam, depict a history too cataclysmic for words alone. Gaze upon the first panels, continents buckling under Groudon's crimson fury, oceans swelling to swallow peaks as Kyogre unleashes torrents that blot out the sun. Skies fracture with lightning, the ground splits into chasms belching magma, while desperate figures, early Draconids, huddle amid the ruin, their prayers lost in the gale. Deeper in, the narrative darkens. A colossal meteor streaks across the vaulted ceiling, its tail a fiery scar birthing the Sootopolis crater. From its impact blooms natural energy unchecked, awakening the legends in their primal splendor. Groudon wreathed in solar flares, Kyogre armored in abyssal waves. The end of the world unfolds in vivid horror. Cities crumble into boiling seas. Forests ignite in perpetual drought. Skies choke with ash and vapor. Yet amid the apocalypse, a serpentine shadow pierces the fray, Rayquaza descending in mega-evolved glory, its body elongating into a ribbon of raw power, jaws parting to roar the legends back to slumber. These paintings aren't mere art, they're a cipher decoded across generations by Draconid shamans. Each symbol foretells cycles of destruction. The meteor's return every 1,000 years, the orb's temptation in human hands, the fragile truce shattered by ambition. One faded sequence shows a tree at the world's heart, mirroring King Azi's gift, its roots binding the cave's energies and staving off primal reversion, just long enough for salvation. Another hints at multiversal echoes, alternate Hoenns drowned or baked barren, a warning that one misstep invites oblivion. Why then is access so fiercely guarded? Only the Lawkeeper, chosen from the purest Draconid bloodline, may ascend to summon the dragon that dwells beyond the clouds. This mantle passes in shadowed rites at Meteor Falls, where the candidate communes with fossilized echoes of past summoners. The knowledge, a resonant chant woven from meteor hums and wind songs, binds caller and called, risking the summoner's life if doubt taints the heart. Lesser souls have tried and vanished, dissolved into ozone wisps, for Rayquaza senses deception, like a storm senses weakness. The Lawkeeper alone intones the invocation at the pillar's apex, shattering the barrier with words that vibrate through the pillar's core. Eternal Sky Warden, heed the fracture below, they murmur, voice merging with the gale as the beacon flares. Rayquaza stirs then, uncoiling from its lofty lair, hurtling earthward in a vortex of draconic might. This restriction preserves the rite's sanctity, and any profane call could rouse the dragon prematurely, unleashing tempests unfit for mortal eyes. The Draconids whisper that misuse once invited a week-long eclipse, skies weeping acid rain until the offender's line was culled. Generations have upheld this vigil, their eyes fixed on the heavens, murals repainted to sharpness with each prophecy's edge. Even in our era, as teams like Magma and Aqua grasped the orbs, the Lawkeeper climbed unseen, their plea drawing Rayquaza to Sootopolis in emerald descent. The pillar stands eternal, a needle threading land, sea and sky, its secrets etched against the next cataclysm. As these celestial guardians watch over Hoenn's delicate equilibrium, our tale grounds itself in the everyday sparks that ignite destiny. Up next in Chapter 7, Littleroot Beginnings, where a sleepy town hides the first stirrings of a champion's path, pulling you from ancient spires into the warmth of home and the thrill of your very first Pokédex beep. As the ancient murals on the sky pillar fade into whispers of impending doom, etched by Draconid hands across crumbling stone, our gaze shifts from those towering prophecies to the quiet edges of Hoenn itself. Here in the far south, where the land meets the sea in a gentle cradle, a new story unfolds, not in cataclysm, but in the simplest of arrivals. Little Root Town emerges from the wilds like a breath of fresh grass after a storm, its few homes huddled under swaying palms and thatched roofs that catch the perpetual Hoenn breeze. This unassuming speck on the map, born from the region's endless push of growth and tide, it marks the threshold where ancient legends give way to the lives of ordinary trainers. You arrive here as Brendan or May, your family uprooting from the familiar chill of Johto, that northern realm of mist-shrouded towers and resilient spirits. Why this move, so far from Goldenrod's bustle or Ecritake's ghosts? It's no mere relocation, it's a narrative pivot, a handoff from one generation's trials to Hoenn's volatile heart. Johto taught endurance against shadows and time-faded myths, but Little Root demands adaptation to a land still pulsing with primal forces. Your new home sits on Route 101, a humble path of tall grass that sways like an invitation, hiding zigzagoons in their zigzag dashes and wormpools spinning silken traps. The town itself feels alive, its white picket fences framing yards where Poochyena pups yip at passing wingle, and the air carries the faint salt of distant waves mingling with sun-warmed earth. Your mother unpacks with cheerful resolve. Your father, once a gym leader in spirit, now chasing dreams in Petalburg, waves from the doorway, oblivious to the legacies awakening beyond the horizon. But peace fractures swiftly. Venture outside, and the wilds assert their claim. Professor Birch, that dishevelled genius with his khaki vest stained by fieldwork and eyes alight with unquenchable curiosity, has been roaming these routes for years. His life's work, cataloguing Hoenn's Pokémon, those quirky natives shaped by the region's fractured balance, zigzagoons scavenging with relentless energy, Tylos slicing the sky like living arrows, Hiss and Lotad bobbing in roadside puddles as if guarding forgotten marshes. Birch isn't confined to a lab like Oak or Elm. He's out there, knee-deep in mud, pokeballs at the ready, sketching evolutions under the relentless sun. On this day, though, his notes scatter across the grass as a feral zigzagoon, its black and white stripes blurring in a frenzy, corners him against a tree trunk. Those tiny claws rake the air, its growl a guttural warning born from Hoenn's overcrowded wilds, where survival means bold thefts of berries and backpacks alike. Birch's cries echo faintly. His own Pokémon fled or fainted, leaving him vulnerable in the grass that once seemed so welcoming. You find his satchel nearby, pulsing with 3 Pokeballs that hum with untapped potential. The choice before you isn't just a starter, it's a pact with Hoenn's essence. Each Pokémon a thread in the ecosystem, woven from Groudon's earth, Kyogre's depths, and Rayquaza's vigilant skies. Treecko, the wood gecko, perches with emerald scales that blend into the canopy, its bulbous tail a reservoir of vitality drawn from the region's lush rainforests and vine-choked ruins. In Hoenn, where land masses rise defiantly against encroaching seas, Treecko embodies resilient growth, evolving into Grovel's blade-armed agility and Sceptile's thunderous speed, a guardian of verdant frontiers that have withstood primal floods. Feel its cool, leathery grip as it leaps to your side, slashing the zigzagoon back with leaf blades that whisper of ancient forests predating even the Draconids. Or reach for Torchic, the chick with flames flickering from its downy feathers, a spark from Mount Chimney's smouldering heart. Hoenn's volcanoes belch ash that blankets roots and tempers the soil, and Torchic thrives there, pecking embers into infernos. It grows into Combusken's kicking fury and Blaziken's blazing martial prowess, legs like pistons echoing Groudon's earth-shaking strides. In your hands, its warmth pulses against the zigzagoon's charge, fire spinning in a protective wheel that scatters the foe and warms the cooling grass, a symbol of the land's fiery defiance, ready to expand horizons or consume them. Then there's Mudkip, the mudfish with its tail fin stirring eddies of swamp water, eyes gleaming like hidden pearls. Born from Hoenn's mangroves and flood-prone deltas where Kyogre's legacy lingers, in every tide pool, Mudkip channels the sea's relentless pull. It swells into Marshtomp's ground-shaking girth and Swampert's tidal might, a behemoth that drowns flames and cracks stone alike. As it blasts the Zigzagoon with a pressurized jet, mud splattering and rhythmic thuds, you sense the ocean's depth in its gaze, patient, primordial, embodying the waters that have warred with continents since time immemorial. Birch staggers to his feet, gratitude etching lines deeper into his sun-leathered face. He entrusts you with the Pokédex, that sleek device destined to chronicle Hoenn's 3,000 species, from the elusive Absol heralding disasters to the Relicanth swimming unchanged since super ancient days. Your rival, your childhood friend from Johto, now brimming with cocky fire, snatches their own starter soon after, setting rivalries ablaze on the sun-dappled paths ahead. Little Route fades behind as you step onto Route 101 proper. Was what I heard. What is white? The world's weight light on your shoulders, yet heavy with promise, unaware that your choices ripple toward orbs of power and awakenings in shadowed caves. Yet even in this idyllic dawn, shadows of ambition stir beneath the surface. Philosophies born from the very land and sea we've traced through eons. Up next, the philosophy of Magma beckons, revealing how one man's vision to uplift the earth would unravel the delicate balance Rayquaza guards so fiercely. What drives such hubris, and how close it comes to echoing the Weather Trio's ancient rage. Before we dive deeper into this incredible journey, I'm curious, where in the world are you watching this from? Drop a comment below and let our global community know. And if you're finding this as mind-blowing as I am, hit that like button to help more people discover this story. Yeah, as you clutch your freshly chosen starter Pokémon, heart pounding from that close call with the wild Zigzagoon on Route 101, Professor Birch urges you onward, his voice laced with the quiet urgency of a man who's seen too many shadows stirring in Hoenn's wilds. The path ahead winds through dew-kissed grasses and sun-dappled groves, but beneath the serene surface, ancient rivalries simmer, ready to erupt like the volcanoes that scar this land. And soon, you'll cross paths with those who worship the Earth's fiery heart, Team Magma, led by a man whose intellect burns brighter than any lava flow. Maxie doesn't see himself as a villain. He's a visionary, a scholar cloaked in a crimson coat, his glasses glinting with the cold precision of someone who's mapped every fault line in Hoenn's crust. He stands atop jagged outcrops, he's gazing at the endless sea that laps at the region's edges, and what he sees isn't beauty, it's waste. Vast oceans swallowing prime real estate, drowning potential under salty waves, while humanity huddles on shrinking shores. His philosophy boils down to one unyielding truth. Land is life. More land means more room for cities to sprawl, farms to flourish, populations to thrive without the crush of scarcity. Groudon, the primal force that once heaved continents from the depths, embodies this ideal, a colossus of expansion, its every step birthing soil from stone. He pores over yellowed scrolls in hidden layers, cross-referencing Draconid myths with geological surveys, convinced that awakening the red orb's power will tip the scales. No more endless tides encroaching on beaches. Instead, reclaimed earth rising like a phoenix from the foam. Team Magma's grunts echo his words in fervent chants during recruitment rallies in Slateport's shadowed alleys, their uniforms stark against the market's bustle. The sea devours, they proclaim, fist clenched, but Magma creates. It's a creed forged in frustration, born from Hoenn's crowded coasts where fishermen haul meagre catches and developers eye horizons blocked by water. Their fixation sharpens on Mount Chimney, that brooding sentinel piercing the sky above. Routes 111 and 113. Inspired by Kyushu's Mount Aso, its caldera breathes perpetual smoke, a forge where Earth's fury meets the air. Maxie obsesses over its rhythms, the deep rumbles that shake Laveridge Town's hot springs, the plumes that paint the dawn in bruised purples and fiery oranges. he dispatches teams to drill into its flanks. He's installing machinery, humming with stolen tech from Devon Corporation. Their goal? Amplify the eruptions, superheat the atmosphere, coax the land to expand by mimicking Groudon's primal rage. Feel the air thicken as you climb its cable car, the metallic tang of sulfur stinging your nostrils, heat waves distorting the horizon like a fever dream. And then there's the ash, that ghostly snowfall drifting from Route 113's glassy dunes. It falls soft as whispers, blanketing the world in fine grey powder that crunches underfoot, turning paths into shimmering mirrors when shoveled into fragile ornaments. To Maxi, it's not a nuisance, it's proof of potential. Volcanic richness, fertile dust born from destruction, ready to nourish soils starved by ocean salts. Grunts patrol the routes with scoop nets, collecting it obsessively, feeding data back to their leader's calculations. He lectures in echoing chambers, voice steady as seismic charts. This ash could blanket new lands, turning barren expanses into verdant heartlands. But step closer to the vents, and you sense the obsession's edge. The way the ground trembles not just from nature, but from human tampering. Machines whirring louder than the wind. Yet woven into this grand vision lies a shadow that even Maxi glosses over in his manifestos. Progress demands sacrifice, and Hoenn's waters bear the brunt. As heat domes swell from chimneys' amplified fury, rivers run low, coral bleeds white in Slateport's bays. Pokémon like Wingull and Tentacool gasp on shrinking shores. Aquatic life, those shimmering schools darting through kelp forests off Dewford's cliffs, finds its realms contracting, with currents poisoned by runoff ash that clouds the deep. Is expansion worth the drownings? Maxi's retort cuts sharp. The sea's abundance is illusion, a bloated excess stifling true growth. Humanity, he argues, evolved on land for a reason. Why bow to waves when fire can forge empires? Whispers among locals paint a murkier portrait. In verdant turf town's airy tunnels, spared the ash by clever winds, elders mutter about Magma's hubris, how their drills fracture aquifers that once fed sacred springs. Lava ridges bathers, steeped in steaming pools, feel the waters grow scalding, a harbinger of imbalance. Even Stephen Stone, with his collector's eye for rare stones, eyes them warily from Rustborough's museums, sensing echoes of the Weather Trio's ancient wars. Maxi's science dazzles, equations predicting land uplift by percentages, and models simulating Groudon's continental thrusts, but it skirts the cost, ecosystems unravelling, Whalmer beaching in agony, the cave of Origin's tree wilting under evaporated mists planted by King Azer a millennium past. Deeper in their jagged pass hideout, amid rivers of molten glow and echoing drips, Maxi convenes with lieutenants, like Tabitha, plotting orb heists from Mount, Pyre's spectral guardians. The air hums with purpose, walls etched with diagrams of expanding coastlines, projections of a Hoenn twice its size. Grunts train Poochyena and Numal in ash-choked arenas, their roars blending with Chimney's growls. It's intoxicating, this dream of dominion, pulling in idealists from Petalburg's gyms to Falabor's labs, all chasing a future where no child goes hungry for lack of fields. But cracks form early in your journey. As you scale those fiery slopes, battling grunts amid choking fumes, you glimpse the philosophy's fervour firsthand. Their eyes alight with zeal, Pokémon surging with borrowed heat. Defeat their machine, watch lava cool to obsidian scars, and Maxi retreats, undeterred, his mind already recalculating. Victory feels hollow. His words linger, challenging you to question if the sea's embrace truly serves, or if Magma's philosophy holds a kernel of truth amid the burn. This land-hungry fire sets the stage for its mirror image, lurking in the depths, where waves crash with equal ambition. Curl up now, let the embers fade, as we descend into Chapter 9, the ambition of the abyss, unravelling Team Aqua's tidal crusade that threatens to swallow Hoenn whole. What secrets do their underwater lairs conceal? And how far will they flood the world for their watery utopia? While Team Magma dreams of scorching the earth to birth new continents under Maxi's calculated gaze, a darker tide rises from the ocean's depths, led by a man whose heart beats with the relentless pulse of the sea itself. Archie, the burly captain of Team Aqua, sees humanity's greatest sin not in stagnation, but in the theft of the waves. He believes the land masses we cherish are nothing but arrogant scars upon a once vast primordial ocean where life first stirred in the endless blue cradle. Picture the salty spray of Slateport City's bustling harbour, where freighters groan under cargo and the first Pokémon contest hall gleams like a beacon for trainers, chasing fleeting glory. This port city, nestled against Hoenn's southern coast, isn't just a waypoint for sailors and merchants, it's the throat of the region, funneling supplies, ships and secrets straight to the heart of the sea. Team Aqua knows this intimately. Their grunts slink through the crowded market stalls, eyes hidden behind diving masks, whispering of a world drowned in purity. Archie paces the deck of his flagship, the sea wind whipping his bandana, his voice a gravelly roar over crashing waves. He preaches a radical creed. Humans evolved from the ocean's embrace, yet we've chained it with harbours, dams and cities that choke its breath. The solution? Shatter the balance, awaken Kyogre, the ancient leviathan of the deep, and flood the world back to its origins, a boundless sea where continents dissolve, skies weep eternally, and life returns to its watery genesis. No more crowded shores, no more petty rivalries over soil, just the abyss, infinite and forgiving. Their strike comes swift and merciless at Slateport's shipyard. Under the cover of a sudden squall, Team Aqua's operatives swarm the docks. Poochyena, snarling at guards, Carvanha slicing through mooring lines. The prize, Submarine Explorer 1, a gleaming marvel of Devon Corporation engineering, designed to plumb the ocean's forbidden trenches. Captain Stern had poured his life's work into her hull, dreaming of mapping the uncharted blue. But Archie sees her destiny differently, a chariot to the cave of origin, where Kyogre slumbers in primal fury. As alarms wail and spotlights cut through the downpour, the submarine shudders to life. Grunts haul aboard crates stamped with Aqua's insignia, their wetsuits dripping seawater that pools like blood on the steel decks. Stern pleads from the pier, his notes scattering in the gale, but a mighty Aina's growl silences him. The sub dives, vanishing into the ink-black harbour mouth, trailing bubbles that rise like final breaths. Slateport awakens to chaos. Docks splintered, ships adrift, the port's vital trade routes crippled. Team Magma watches from afar, smirking at their rival's audacity, but Archie sails onward, the Explorer 1 slicing toward destiny. Deep in his ocean hideout, carved into jagged underwater cliffs, where bioluminescent Luvdisk flicker like lost souls, Archie cradles the key to his apocalypse. The blue orb, forged from the tears of the sea itself, this azure gem pulses with corrupting light, twisting Kyogre's noble heart into a storm of primal rage. Legends whisper of its power, how it binds the whale to the wielder's will, or amplifying the beast's ancient hunger until the skies split open. Envision the horror Archie envisions as paradise. Endless rain lashes the earth, rivers swell to devour villages, Slateport streets become canals choked with debris. Mauville's lights flicker and die under grey deluge, while Evergrande's bridges strain against tidal surges. Pokémon huddle in flooded caves, their cries muffled by the roar of perpetual storms. Humanity clings to rafts and rooftops, reduced to the sea's mercy, just as Archie decrees. The blue orb's corruption doesn't just awaken Kyogre, it unleashes a vision of submersion so total, the ozone itself weeps in Rayquaza's distant vigil. Yet whispers persist among the waves, of ancient protectors who guard the orbs from such madness. High on Mount Pyre's misty slopes, shrouded in eternal fog and the cries of restless spirits, The true keepers of the blue orbs stir, ready to clash with Aqua's tide. What forgotten oaths and spectral guardians await in the flames of that haunted peak? With the submarine explorer, one seized from Slateport's bustling docks, Team Aqua's divers plunged into the shadows of Hoenn's forgotten fringes, their eyes fixed on a prize that whispered of oceans unbound. That prize lay cradled in the withered hands of two souls who had devoted their lives to silence, high on the fog-veiled summit of Mount Pyre. This mountain rises like a solemn sentinel from the sea's edge, its jagged peaks piercing the perpetual mist that clings to every crag and crevice. No vibrant wilds flourish here, no bustling routes carve through sun-dappled meadows. Instead, its layers upon layers of quiet graves mark the ascent, each one a resting place for Pokémon who have slipped from the living world. You can almost hear their echoes in the wind that moans through the tombstones. A low dirge carrying faint cries of Latios and Latias, of Mightyena packs long scattered, of Wingle wings stilled forever. It's Hoenn's Mountain of the Dead, a place where the veil between realms thins and the spirits linger not in torment, but in watchful repose. For generations, Mount Pyre has anchored the region's spirit, a sacred counterweight to the raw forces churning beneath the earth and waves, while Groudon dreams of continents in its cavernous lair and Kyogre stirs the deeps with tidal hungers. This peak holds the echoes of every Pokémon that ever graced Hoenn's shores. Pilgrims climb its paths not for glory or battle, all but for communion, leaving offerings of berries at weathered markers, whispering prayers to the departed. The air grows heavier with each step upward, thick with the scent of salt-kissed stone and fading incense, as if the mountain itself exhales the collective breath of the lost. Here, death isn't an end. It's a bridge, tethering the ethereal to the tangible, reminding every trainer that their companion souls endure beyond the Pokeball's click. At the pinnacle, where the world falls away into endless ocean haze, dwell the Guardians, an elderly couple whose faces are etched with the quiet wisdom of lifetimes spent in vigil. They are no warriors clad in Draconid robes or Meteor Falls sentinels, just two ordinary souls, bound by an unspoken oath to safeguard relics older than the cities below. In their modest shrine, richly surrounded by flickering candlelight that dances against the gloom, they tend the red orb and the blue orb. These shimmering spheres pulse with an otherworldly glow, the red one veined like molten rivers, evoking Groudon's primal fury, the blue swirling with abyssal depths that mirror Kyogre's insatiable call. Forged in the fires of super-ancient strife, the orbs are keys to awakening the Titans, conduits that channel human will into legendary obedience. The couple moves with deliberate grace, their steps soft on the shrine's ancient floors. The old man, his voice a gravelly murmur, recounts tales to rare visitors of how the orbs came into their care, passed down from Draconid kin perhaps, or entrusted by wandering sages who sensed the cycles turning. His wife, eyes sharp despite the years, he polishes the spheres with cloths woven from spectral silcoon silk, ensuring no speck of dust dulls their power. They speak of balance, of how the orbs must remain divided, untouched, lest the land and sea clash once more. In quieter moments, they commune with the spirits swirling about the peak, ghostly forms of departed Pokémon brushing against their hands, offering silent approval or faint warnings. It's a harmony born of reverence, where the whispers of the dead reinforce the barriers holding back cataclysm. Yet even this sacred watch crumbles under ambition's tide. Team Magma arrives first in some tellings, their cloaked grunts swarming the lower graves like shadows desecrating hallowed ground. Maxi, with his calculated gaze, demands the red orb, preaching of humanity's dominion over barren expanses. The couple resists, with frail forms barring the way, but numbers overwhelm. Then Team Aqua surges up from the waves, Archie bellowing of a world reborn in endless blue, snatching the blue orb amid the chaos. Gunfire echoes, harmless warning shots that shatter the peace, while spirits wail in protest, their ethereal forms twisting in fury. The Guardians, battered but unbroken, collapse in despair as the intruders vanish into the mist, orbs in hand. Their failure cuts deepest not in defeat, but in the unravelling it unleashes. These two, who lived for Hoenn's equilibrium, watch helplessly as the orbs fuel the legend's rage. The red orb awakens Groudon's earth-shaking roars from the depths. The blue stirs Kyogre's floods that drown the coasts. What began as a quiet guardianship ends in the world's fever. The couple's pleas lost to the storm. Yes, they entrust a final hope to any pure-hearted soul who reaches the summit, a chance to reclaim what's stolen, but the damage spirals, binding mortal folly to immortal power. This thread weaves deeper still, linking the Pokémon spirits to the ancient forces that sculpted Hoenn itself. On Mount Pyre, the departed aren't mere echoes. They embody the primal energies that birthed the land. Feel it in the chill gusts carrying Persian yowls or the soft glow of Chimecho chimes. Each soul, a fragment of the super-ancient essence, echoing Groudon's tectonic might or Kyogre's hydraulic pulse. The Guardians understood this. The orbs don't just control the Titans, they resonate with the mountain's spectral chorus, a symphony where Pokémon afterlives temper the chaos of creation. Disrupt one, and the harmony fractures, as spirits rising in unrest as droughts parch the earth, or monsoons swallow villages. It's no coincidence Rayquaza slumbers above, drawn by the same cosmic rhythm. The Sky Guardian attuned to these earthly dirges, ready to descend when the balance teeters. Climbing Mount Pyre today, in the hush of night, you sense that lingering tension. Graves shift subtly under moonlight, as if the Pokémon below stir at the orb's absence. The couple's shrine stands scarred, candles relit by passing trainers, but the air hums with foreboding. Their vigilance, though breached, echoes in every spirit's sigh, a reminder that Hoenn's fate hinges not just on legends, but on the unseen bonds between the quick and the dead. And as the stolen orbs pulse toward their dark purposes, the Guardian's worst fears converge in the heart of Sootopolis city. He drawing us inexorably into the Sootopolis catastrophe, a clash where cratered skies will weep and the ground itself will rebel, leaving you wondering if any force can halt the flood. Despite the elderly couple's desperate stand atop Mount Pyre, the red and blue orbs vanished into the hands of those blinded by ambition, hurtling toward a destiny that would unleash Hoenn's deepest fury. Team Magma, with Maxi clutching the red orb like a forbidden key, descended into the heart of the earth, awakening Groudon from its primordial slumber in the depths beneath Mount Chimney. At the same moment, Team Aqua, led by Archie's unyielding grip on the blue orb, dragged Kyogre from the abyssal trenches of Sootopolis. The balance shattered, and Hoenn paid the price in Cataclysm. You can feel it first in the air, a stifling heat that creeps across the region like an uninvited fever. Groudon's emergence ignites the drought, its primal roar splitting the ground as sunlight pierces every cloud, baking the soil until rivers evaporate and grass withers to brittle straw. Fields that once bloomed green turn to cracked earth, and the wind carries the scent of scorched stone, heavy and unrelenting. Little Root Town, your quiet starting point, bakes under a merciless sun, while even the cool caves of Dewford feel the oppressive warmth seeping in. Hoenn transforms overnight, the land rising in defiance, mountains swelling as if breathing for the first time in eons. But Kyogre counters with equal wrath, summoning the drizzle that drowns the world in endless torrents. Rain lashes down in sheets so thick they blur the horizon, heat to swelling oceans until they swallow coastlines whole. Slateport City's bustling harbour floods first, waves crashing over markets and dragging ships into the depths. The air grows thick with salt and mist, a perpetual downpour that chills to the bone, turning paths to mudslides and forests to sodden mazes. These forces don't merely weather the land, they war, Groudon's blistering rays clashing against Kyogre's deluge in a spectacle that paints the sky in apocalyptic strokes. Nowhere does this clash burn brighter than in Sootopolis city, cradled in the crater of that ancient meteor from 1,000 years past, its white spires rising like defiant sentinels from a dormant volcano's caldera. You arrive here, drawn by urgent pleas from the gym leader Hoenn, only to find the city under siege from within. The skies above fracture, one half a furnace blaze of orange and gold, the other a roiling storm of slate grey and lightning-veined black. Steam erupts where rain meets superheated stone, hissing clouds that choke the streets and veil the sacred cave of origin in a ghostly shroud. Groudon erupts from the east, its massive form cracking the earth's crust, red-hot magma veins pulsing along its body as drought desiccates the crater lake to a steaming pit. Every step quakes the foundations, sending tremors through Sootopolis' marble temples, while the air shimmers with heat haze, mirages dancing over rooftops. Kyogre surges from the west, colossal and sleek, its drizzle summoning tidal waves that crash against the city's volcanic walls, flooding plazas and turning sacred pools into raging whirlpools. The two titans lock eyes across the heart of the volcano, their abilities colliding in a maelstrom, bolts of solar fury evaporating torrents mid-air, only for fresh deluges to quench the flames in explosive bursts of vapor. The sensory overload grips you, the ground buckles underfoot, hot winds whipping sand from desiccated shores, while icy rain pelts like needles. Thunder cracks as lightning arcs between the beasts, illuminating their primal forms. Groudon's craggy hide glowing within a fire, Kyogre's scales glistening like deep-sea jewels under perpetual stormlight. Citizens huddle in the gym, whispering prayers to Rayquaza, their protector absent, while the volcano groans, threatening to awaken fully. This isn't just battle, it's the raw pulse of Hoenn's creation myth replayed, in land and sea vying for dominance in the cradle of their ancient feud. Desperation pulls you forward. With the city sealed by the turmoil, you navigate crumbling ledges and flooded alleys, the clashes roar drowning out your footsteps. The cave of origin beckons at the crater's core, its entrance a yawning maw framed by jagged obsidian, now slick with battling elements. You descend, torchlight flickering against walls etched with Draconid runes that seem to writhe in the chaos above. Deeper in, the air thickens, humming with infinite energy drawn from the planet's core, natural forces unbound, swirling like a living storm. There in the cavern's sanctum, you witness the pinnacle, primal reversion. The orb's power surges through the titans, triggered by their rage and the stolen relic's resonance. Groudon swells, its form reverting to a prehistoric behemoth, armoured plates blazing with solar flares, drought intensifying to evaporate oceans at a glance. Kyogre expands, fins slicing water from stone itself, drizzle evolving into a hurricane force that floods the cave floor ankle-deep one moment, only to boil away the next. Their roars echo off crystal veins, shaking stalactites loose in glittering cascades, the raw power so visceral you feel it in your chest, a primal heartbeat syncing with Hoenn's own. This reversion isn't mere evolution, it's a glimpse into super-ancient times, when these gods shaped continents and basins without mercy. The cave pulses with their aura, walls glowing crimson and azure, the air electric with ozone and brimstone. You stand mere feet from apocalypse, the titans clash sending shockwaves that hurl boulders and ignite geysers of steam. Every sense overwhelms. The metallic tang of charged air, the earthquake rumble underfoot, the blinding flashes where drought pierces drizzle, birthing rainbows twisted into harbingers of doom. Yet amid the fury, echoes of history whisper, Draconid legends of cycles past when meteors heralded such awakenings, only for Rayquaza to descend from the ozone veil. The Guardian's failure at Mount Pyre led here, but your presence, armed with resolve and perhaps a legend of your own, hints at intervention. The volcano's heart heaves, magma bubbling where water pools evaporate, the clash reaching fever pitch as primal might threatens to rend Sootopolis asunder. As the Titans circle, their abilities weaving a tapestry of elemental war, scorching beams vaporizing waves, counter floods dousing infernos in hissing defeat, the city's fate hangs by a thread. Hoenn's climate warps irrevocably, droughts parching the north, while southern seas rise to claim the land, a prelude to the end unless balance restores. You press on, the cave's depths revealing veins of pure energy that fuel this primal dance, each pulse a reminder of the super-ancient Pokémon's indelible mark. Finally, as exhaustion sets in from the unrelenting assault, a shadow stirs in the storm-torn skies above. But resolution lingers just beyond, tied to enigmas etched in forgotten scripts. What secrets lie in the Braille enigma, waiting to unlock paths through this devastation? As the skies above Sootopolis churn with unrelenting drought from one titan and the pounding drizzle from the other, their primal fury engulfs the crater city in a haze of steam and shadow. You turn your gaze away from the chaos, pressing onward through Hoenn's fractured roots. Whispers from sailors in Dewford town draw you eastward, past the crashing waves of Route 134 to a submerged chamber veiled in perpetual twilight. This is no ordinary cave. Its entrance lies hidden beneath the ocean's embrace, a relic from an era when the seas were shallower and the land whispered secrets in a language long forgotten. You dive deeper, your relicanth leading the way, like an ancient key, its armoured scales brushing against coral-encrusted walls, while Wylord anchors the rear, its massive form parting the currents with effortless might. Only this precise alignment, living echoes of Hoenn's primordial waters, triggers the mechanism carved into the stone. Massive slabs grind apart with a rumble that echoes through the depths, revealing the sealed chamber, its walls etched with Braille, those raised dots glowing faintly under the beam of your flashlight, as if pulsing with the heartbeat of a civilization buried by time. These inscriptions aren't mere decorations. They're a dire warning, a chronicle etched by hands that trembled with awe and terror. Here lies the sealed chamber, the first message begins, each dot a deliberate stroke from thousands of years past. The ancient people of Hoenn, those who witnessed Groudon and Kyogre's first cataclysms, crafted guardians to protect the balance they so desperately craved. But what they unleashed surpassed their wildest dreams or nightmares. The Braille unfolds a tale of creation, born from desperation. Colossal golems, forged not from flesh, but from the raw essence of the earth itself, animated by a power that rivaled the weather titans. Regirock emerged first, hewn from unyielding granite, and basalt hauled from the region's deepest quarries. Its body, a fortress of jagged boulders that could shatter mountains with a single step. They say it strode across the newborn continents, stabilizing the land against Kyogre's relentless floods, its fists pounding the earth to raise barriers where seas encroached. Yet as it moved, earthquakes rippled in its wake, swallowing villages whole, and the people watched in horror as their protector became a harbinger of ruin. Then came Regis, sculpted from eternal ice drawn from glaciers that once blanketed Hoenn's peaks, its crystalline form shimmering like frozen starlight. It froze the raging oceans into sheets of impenetrable frost, halting the tidal onslaughts that threatened to drown the world. But its chill seeped into the soil, locking rivers in perpetual winter, starving the fields and turning lush valleys into barren wastelands. The ancient scribes captured this tragedy in Braille, their fingers tracing the sorrow a guardian meant to save, now feared for the endless frost it brought. And finally Registeel, born from a meteorite that plummeted into the heart of what would become Route 111's desert, its metallic hide forged in celestial fires, unbreakable and unyielding. It patrolled the skies and seas alike, repelling both land and wave with blasts of raw energy, a sentinel of steel that no force could dent. Whispers in the inscriptions hint at its origin tied to the very stars. The Draconids might recognize its gleam, but its power warped the air around it, corroding life with an otherworldly aura, driving humanity to the brink of extinction. The civilization that birthed these giants rejoiced at first, naming them the Regi Trio, continental Pokémon, said to have been towed across oceans by their even mightier kin, Regigigas, in an age when the world was still forming. But fear overtook gratitude. The golem's strength, once a bulwark against primal chaos, grew unchecked, their every action reshaping Hoenn in ways no mortal could control. In a final act of desperation, the ancients lured them to hidden tombs scattered across the region. Regirock to the sun-scorched ruins beneath the desert sands of Route 111. Regite to a forsaken isle adrift in the northern seas, and Registeel to the labyrinthine depths of Route 120's ancient tomb. The sealed chamber's final Braille message seals the pact, the world renewed by three who moved the world, locked by the last who made the heart whole. To breach these tombs, you must prove worthy, echoing the chamber's trial with Pokémon of sea and might. Return to the desert, where shifting sands part to reveal desert ruins, and press the Braille panel in the correct rhythm. Quiet, then dig, then open your eyes. Regirock stirs from 3,000 years of slumber, its rocky form cracking open with a thunderous roar, eyes igniting like molten lava. Sail north to Island Cave, where waves lap at jagged cliffs, and a line relicanth up front once more, Waylord sealing the pact. The ice gleams unnaturally bright as Regis awakens, shards flying like daggers, its gaze a blizzard that chills the soul. And in the shadowy corridors of ancient tomb beneath the waves off Route 120, the steel giant rises last, its body humming with forbidden energy, claws scraping stone as it breaks free. These encounters aren't triumphs of conquest, they're echoes of profound tragedy. Stephen Stone, ever the seeker of relics, crosses your path amid these ruins, his fascination with ancient stones mirroring your own quest. He marvels at the golem's durability, collecting shards that hint at their unbreakable legacy. But even he senses the weight of their ceiling, a reminder that power without restraint devours all it touches. As you claim these legends, their tragic ballad resonates through Hoenn's lore, guardians born to protect, forever imprisoned by the very hands that set them free. With the Regi Trio at your side, their stoic silence urging you toward greater trials, the path to Evergrande City beckons, where the weight of championship looms heavier than any ancient curse. What burden awaits the one who would claim that title? Tune in next for Chapter 13, The Champion's Burden, and uncover the destiny that tests even the mightiest trainers. With the golems now roused from their Braille-sealed tombs, their colossal forms echoing the raw power buried in Hoenn stone and ice and steel, a new figure emerges from the shadows of these ancient trials, one whose own path mirrors that unyielding essence. Stephen Stone, heir to the Devon Corporation's legacy, drifts through Hoenn not as a corporate shadow, but as a wanderer enthralled by the Earth's hidden veins. Picture him kneeling in the dust of Route 113's desert ruins, fingers tracing veins of shimmering ore, his eyes alight with the quiet thrill of discovery. Geology calls to him like a siren's song, pulling him from crumbling sea caves to volcanic fissures, where he unearths rare stones that pulse with forgotten energies, metagrossite fragments, beldam cores, relics that whisper of Hoenn's primal forging. Yet Stephen's soul is forged in steel just as surely. His Pokémon team gleams like polished armour, Aggron thundering across crags, a Metagross levitating with psychic precision, Skarmory slicing winds with razor wings. He doesn't chase badges for glory, he battles to test the mettle of trainers who might one day stand against the region's unravelling balance. You've crossed his path before, haven't you? In the dim glow of Granite Cave, where he handed you a steel mail trinket, or amid Duford's tides, pondering the world's metallic mysteries. Stephen embodies Hoenn's duality, scholar and warrior, collector of Earth's bones, and master of its unbreakable guardians. His letters arrive unbidden in your bag, fragments of lore from afar, urging you onward, as if he senses the cataclysm brewing. And all roads, all these trials of stone and legend, converge on Evergrande City, Hoenn's shimmering crown. Perched on an isolated isle beyond the mainland's haze, this city rises like a mirage from sapphire waters, its architecture a symphony of white spires and cascading fountains. Palm-lined avenues wind past the Pokémon Center's welcoming glow, leading to the League's monolithic dome, a fortress of marble and myth where champions are crowned. Evergrande isn't just a destination, it's the heartbeat of aspiration, a place where the sea's endless murmur meets the sky's vast dome, echoing Rayquaza's ancient vigil. Trainers from Little Root to Lily Cove flock here, their journeys etched in sweat and scars, drawn by the promise of eternity in battle. But eternity demands sacrifice. To reach Evergrande, you must conquer Victory Road, that labyrinthine gauntlet carved through the mountain's bowels. No gentle hike this. Dark tunnels twist like the veins Stephen so loves to map, lit only by the flicker of wild Pokémon eyes and the distant roar of underground rivers. Boulders block paths, demanding strength puzzles solved with your team's raw power. Trainers lurk in alcoves, their ace Pokémon hungry for challenges, testing not just skill but endurance. The air grows thick, humid with mineral tang as you push deeper, feet slipping on moss-slick ledges, echoes amplifying every laboured breath. It's Hoenn's final crucible, weeding out the unworthy, mirroring the Draconid's meteor trials or the Golem's fearful seals. Emerge from its depths, and Evergrande awaits, but only if you've proven your burden can be borne. Amid this pinnacle stands Wallace, Sootopolis' elegant son, whose ascent to champion weaves the city's legends into the League's tapestry. Once gym leader of that crater-born haven, he danced through waters with melodic serpentine grace, his battles a ballet of mist and maneuver. Sootopolis shaped him, its cave of origin humming below, birthplace of Kyogre's primal rage, its sky pillar-piercing clouds in Rayquaza's name. Wallace carries those myths in his blood, a connoisseur of beauty who sees the weather trio not as monsters, but as art in conflict. His family ties run deep, guardians of lore whispered in volcanic steam, where the sea god slumbered and the sky dragon descended. In the Emerald Saga's turning, Wallace steps from gym shadows to champion's throne, Stephen yielding with quiet respect to join the Elite Four's steel-clad ranks. Now Wallace presides over Evergrande's arena, his Whiscash quaking the floor, his Gyarados coiling like Sootopolis' tempests reborn. He challenges you not with brute force, but with fluid mastery, each wave crash evoking the cataclysm you averted in his hometown. Victory over him seals your league triumph, yet his parting words linger, a reminder that true champions shoulder more than titles. They guard the balance, eyes ever on the horizon, where land and sea might clash anew. Stephen and Wallace, geologist and legend keeper, embody the champion's true burden. Not just to win, but to wander Hoenn's fractures, collecting its secrets against the next unravelling. Their paths through Victory Road and Evergrande forge the steel of resolve, preparing for threats beyond the League's doors. And as a strange meteor streaks across those same skies, igniting the Delta episode's cosmic riddle, you'll wonder what new guardians await in its fiery wake. I hope you're as amazed by this as I am. If you want to stay updated on more content like this, make sure to subscribe and join our community of curious minds. Trust me, what's coming next will challenge everything you thought you knew. with the echoes of your triumph still ringing through the halls of the Pokémon League in Evergrande City. Stephen Stone pulls you aside, his voice low and urgent, eyes fixed on the horizon beyond Victory Road's jagged scars. He speaks of anomalies in the sky, fragments of data from Devon satellites painting a dire picture. A second meteor, vast and unyielding, hurtling toward Hoenn on a collision course that could shatter the fragile balance you've just fought to restore. This isn't some distant legend whispered in Meteor Falls. It's unfolding now, in the quiet aftermath of your championship. Astronomers at Devon Corporation scramble in Moss Deep City, their screens flickering with trajectories that spell cataclysm. The rock, larger than the one that carved Sootopolis City's crater 1,000 years ago, barrels through the void, its surface etched with unknown energies, threatening to reignite the primal fury of Groudon and Kyogre, or worse, pulverize the land Rayquaza once pacified. Enter Zinnia, the enigmatic Draconid lawkeeper, her presence as fierce as the winds whipping through Sky Pillar. She bursts into your world, astride her salamence, scales gleaming like meteor shards under the moonlit sky, her eyes burning with the weight of ancient oaths. Zinnia isn't here to negotiate or defer to the whitecoats of modern science. She's the living embodiment of her people's prophecy. She's rejecting the cold calculations of satellites and simulations. To her, this meteor isn't a rock to be deflected by machines. It's the harbinger foretold by her ancestors, the celestial trial that demands Rayquaza's descent. You first encounter her shadow in the Dragon's Den beneath Meteor Falls, where the Draconids have guarded their secrets for millennia. The air thick with the hum of falling water and the faint glow of bioluminescent fungi clinging to cavern walls. Zinnia challenges you there, not out of malice, but to test your worthiness, her voice echoing off the dripping stalactites as she recounts the cycle. Every 1,000 years, the stars weep fire, and the Sky Guardian must rise. She speaks of her grandmother, the previous lawkeeper who trained her in the arts of dragon taming, imprinting her with the unshakable faith that technology blinds us to the true path. As the meteor's shadow grows, streaking fire across Hoenn's night skies, visible even from the hot springs of Laveridge Town, Zinnia races against time. She steals into the Devon Corporation's labs in Moss Deep, her salamences roar, shattering the sterile quiet, commandeering their ultimate weapon, a warp panel, a device born from interdimensional research, capable of ripping open portals to other worlds. But Zinnia scoffs at its promise. To her, shunting the threat to another dimension is cowardice, a denial of the prophecy that has sustained her people through eons of peril. The moral storm brews in the heart of Sky Pillar, that towering spire off Route 134, built in Rayquaza's honor after it first mega-evolved under the Draconid's call a millennium ago. You climb its spiral heights with Zinnia, the wind howling like the cries of forgotten dragons, each step cracking under the weight of swirling mist and illusory guardians. There, amid crumbling murals depicting meteor falls and serpent descents, the debate ignites. Devon scientists plead for the warp panel. Send the meteor to a barren dimension. Spare Hoenn the devastation. Preserve life through ingenuity. Zinnia counters with fire in her veins. Face it head on. Summon Rayquaza as the law demands. Let the Sky King mega evolve and pulverize the intruder, honoring the balance of land, sea and heavens. Her rejection runs deeper than pride. It's woven into Draconid blood. Modern science, with its probes and panels, forgot the lessons of Meteor Falls, where her ancestors wished upon falling stars to awaken Rayquaza against primal titans. Zinnia sees the warp panel as hubris, echoing Team Magma and Aqua's folly, humans meddling where legends reign. She presses you, her allies in this desperate gambit, to choose: exile the threat unseen, or embrace the prophecy's fury. The tension peaks as the meteor looms, its heat warping the air over Sootopolis, casting long shadows across the cave of origin. Zinnia dons her ceremonial mask, scales painted in ritual dyes that shimmer like Rayquaza's hide, and leads the charge to the pillar's summit. Rayquaza answers, coiling from the ozone layer in a blaze of emerald light. Mega evolving without stone or key, its primal roar shaking the stars. The clash is cataclysmic, delta energy surges, beams of otherworldly power lancing through the night, the meteor fracturing in a symphony of destruction that lights Hoenn like a second dawn. Yet Zinnia's mission doesn't end in victory alone. She entrusts you with fragments of the lore, hints of multiversal rifts glimpsed in the warp's glow, tying Hoenn's fate to threads beyond our skies. As the dust settles and the stars reclaim their peace, she vanishes into the winds, her prophecy fulfilled, but whispers linger of greater cosmic secrets waiting just out of reach. And in the quiet that follows, as you gaze upward from Evergrande's battlements, questions pull at the edges of your mind. What lies beyond the atmosphere, in the vast expanse where Rayquaza truly dwells? Zinnia's faith in the ancient Draconid ways burns brighter than the stars she's sworn to protect. Yet dismissing the Devon Corporation's radars and telescopes as blind to the true peril hurtling through the void. That second meteor, the Delta Meteor, isn't just rock and fire, it carries something alive, something that could unravel Hoenn's fragile balance forever. And the only force capable of intercepting it waits high above, coiled in the ozone layer, its emerald scales shimmering like a guardian from the dawn of time. You can almost feel the chill of Sky Pillar's summit as Zinnia and her allies gather there. The wind whipping through the crumbling stone arches built 1,000 years ago in Rayquaza's honor. The air grows thin, charged with primal energy as she clutches the meteorite key, its surface pulsing with otherworldly light. Legends whisper that this very pillar was erected after Rayquaza's first mega evolution, when it descended like a comet to quell Groudon and Kyogre in Sootopolis' crater. Now, history echoes itself. Zinnia scales the final ledge, her breath ragged, eyes locked on the infinite blue above. With a chant passed down through Draconid generations, she activates the key and the sky splits open. Rayquaza emerges, a serpentine behemoth uncoiling from the heavens, its body stretching impossibly long, wings of pure energy unfurling as the megastone resonates. The transformation is breathtaking. Mega Rayquaza, Delta Stream active, its form elongating further, horns sharpening into weapons of cosmic judgment. The ground trembles beneath its shadow, but there's no time for awe. Zinnia leaps onto its back, gripping the ridges of its armored scales, her team Pokémon bracing beside her. With a roar that shatters clouds, Rayquaza surges upward, piercing the troposphere in seconds. The ascent is cinematic, a rush of sensory overload you'd replay in your dreams. Winds howl past at hurricane force, turning to icy blasts as you break through the cloud deck. Below, Hoenn shrinks to a patchwork of land, sea and volcanic glow. Sootopolis' crater a dark scar, meteor falls a silver thread, Mount Pyre's graves winking like distant fireflies. The blue fades to black, stars igniting one by one as the atmosphere thins. Rayquaza's body heats from friction, glowing plasma trailing in its wake, but its ozone mastery shields you, creating a bubble of breathable air amid the vacuum. Higher still, the curve of the planet comes into view, Hoenn a verdant jewel against the endless night. Satellites drift by like forgotten relics. Here's the International Space Station, a speck in the distance, but ahead looms the threat, the Delta Meteor, a jagged behemoth tumbling through the void, its surface cracked and veined with pulsating red energy. It's no ordinary space rock. This one pulses with life, drawn from the same extraterrestrial forces that birthed Rayquaza's kind eons ago. Rayquaza accelerates, a green streak against the stars, closing the gap with predatory grace. The meteor fills your vision now, massive, irregular, fragments already shearing off in fiery trails. Zinnia shouts commands, her voice cutting through the roar as Rayquaza coils and strikes. Dragon Ascent unleashes, a blazing dive that slams into the core, mega energy exploding in a shockwave of emerald light. Cracks spiderweb across the meteor's husk, chunks the size of mountains vaporizing on impact. But from the heart of the destruction, something stirs. The shell shatters spectacularly, debris scattering like shattered glass across the cosmos. Amid the rubble emerges Deoxys, the alien DNA Pokémon, its crystalline form twisting and reforming in an instant. Red-tinted, polymorphic, it adapts mid-battle, arms elongating into Psycho Boost cannons, eyes glowing with psychic fury. This isn't invasion, it's survival. Deoxys, born from a mutated virus exposed to space radiation, hurtles from distant stars, its DNA helix core spinning wildly. The clash is otherworldly, silent in the vacuum but vivid in your mind's eye. Rayquaza dodges hyperbeams that warp space itself, countering with extreme speed bursts that leave afterimages trailing. Deoxys shifts forms, attack mode for raw power, whipping tentacles that latch onto Rayquaza's flank. Defense mode to tank a Dragon Pulse, its body ballooning crystalline shields. Zinnia directs from the back, her salamence weaving support, but it's Rayquaza's raw supremacy that turns the tide. A final twister envelopes Deoxys, hurling it sunward, its form flickering as it retreats into the solar winds. Defeated but not destroyed. As the dust clears, you float there on Rayquaza's back, the planet below serene once more, Hoenn safe from annihilation. But this victory unveils deeper truths, ones the Draconids have guarded in meteor lore carvings at Meteor Falls. Pokémon aren't just of this world, they're cosmic wanderers. Rayquaza slumbers in the ozone, sentinel against skyward threats, but whispers in ancient texts suggest its kind originated beyond the stars, seeding life across planets. Deoxys proves it, extraterrestrial DNA, twisting into forms that defy Hoenn's primal creators. Consider the implications, drifting weightless amid the constellations. Groudon shaped land from magma hearts, Kyogre carved seas from infinite depths, but Rayquaza balanced them from above. Yet what if their energies trace back to Meteor Falls, cosmic infusions that sparked Hoenn's super-ancient Pokémon? The Delta Meteor wasn't the first. 1,000 years ago, one forged Sootopolis' crater, awakening the Titans and prompting Rayquaza's mega debut. 2,000 years prior, Meteor Falls rained debris that the Draconids revered as star eggs, birthing their prophecy cycle. Life exists beyond the Poké world, in forms that challenge everything. Deoxys, with its ability to regenerate and adapt, hints at Pokémon evolving in the void. Viruses mutated by radiation, are crystals alive with psychic will. Rayquaza's Dragon Ascent isn't just an attack. It's a memory of interstellar migration, pulling fragments of alien essence back to the cradle. Hoenn's guardians aren't isolated myths. They're links in a galactic chain, where meteors deliver not doom, but the building blocks of worlds. Zinnia gazes at the fading trail of Deoxys, her resolve tempered by wonder. Science glimpsed the meteor, but only legend could confront it. As Rayquaza banks toward re-entry, flames licking its scales, the stars seem closer, whispering secrets of parallel fates and twisted timelines. What if this meteor wasn't random, but a harbinger from realms where Hoenn's history forked differently? That question lingers like a comet's tail, leading straight into Chapter 16, the Multiverse theory, where we unravel how these cosmic echoes might reshape everything you thought you knew. As Mega Rayquaza hurtled through the void, shattering the Delta Meteor into harmless fragments, Deoxys twisted away into the cosmic dark, its alien form a fleeting scar on Hoenn's sky. You could almost feel the relief washing over the region below, the ozone layer knitting itself back together under Rayquaza's watchful gaze. But that victory hard won as it was, left a deeper question hanging in the ether. What if Hoenn itself exists not as one unbroken thread, but as a web of timelines, splintered by choices and cataclysms that echo across realities? Consider the subtle fracture lines already etched into the lore. The Draconids have guarded meteor falls for millennia, their prophecies whispering of meteors that return every 1,000 years, and each one a pivot point where the sky pillar trembles and Rayquaza stirs. 2,000 years ago, one such rockfall awakened primal Groudon and Kyogre, forcing the tribe to summon their Sky Guardian in desperation. 1,000 years later, another meteor carved the crater of Sootopolis city, pitting the Titans against each other once more until Rayquaza descended, mega evolving for the first time in a blaze of meteorite-fueled power. And now, in your lifetime, or at least in the lifetime of the player who rode its back, the cycle repeats with the Delta Meteor, another harbinger demanding intervention. These recurring threats aren't mere coincidences, they're markers of divergence. Fans have long pieced together what's come to be known as the link cable theory, named after the old Game Boy cables that once bridged Pokémon games in real-time trades and battles. Picture those cables not just as tech, but as conduits between worlds. In the originals, Ruby and Sapphire from 2002, and Emerald that followed, you link up with friends, swapping Pokémon across cartridges, unknowingly threading connections between what might be parallel Hoenns. The theory posits that every link creates a ripple, stabilizing or splitting timelines based on the data exchanged. But it goes deeper, suggesting the games themselves are portals to those realities, where choices like which orb you hand over or which team you thwart first branch the story into infinities. Now fast forward to the remakes, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire in 2014. These aren't just graphical facelifts. They're canon alternate realities confirmed through layers of in-game text and prophecy fulfillment. In the originals, Rayquaza ends the Sootopolis crisis by descending raw and primal, forcing Groudon and Kyogre into slumber without any need for keystones or megastones. No mega evolution exists there. The world halts at the edge of that ancient power, balanced precariously by the weather trio's raw might. Team Magma dreams of endless land under Maxie's vision. Team Aqua of boundless seas under Archie, and Emerald weaves them both into a symphony of chaos that you alone quell as the true champion. But slip into the remakes, and the timeline warps. Mega evolution pulses through every corner of Hoenn, a technology unearthed from AZ's Colossian tree, planted 1,000 years prior at the Cave of Origin. Rayquaza doesn't just intervene, it mega evolves on command, Dragon Ascendant roaring through the storm-swept skies of Sootopolis. Groudon and Kyogre revert from their primal states only after tasting that power, their orbs gleaming with new potential. The Delta episode unfolds post-game, Zinnia's Draconid heritage pulling you into a race against a second meteor, where Deoxys isn't a myth, but a tangible invader from beyond. These aren't retcons, they're deliberate echoes of separate Hoenns, where the presence of mega evolution tips the scales of fate. Think about it. In the original timeline, Hoenn stabilizes without megastones, its legends slumbering in a world untouched by that extra evolutionary leap. No space odyssey, no Deoxys showdown, just the quiet vigil of the red and blue orbs on Mount Pyre, guarded by subsects of the faithful against teams that never fully grasp the primal reversion. The region heals from drought and deluge, but it never reaches for the stars. Shift to the remake timeline, and mega evolution defines everything. It empowers Steven's steel giants, fuels your rival's growth, and ultimately arms Rayquaza against cosmic threats. The Draconid's prophecy evolves too. Zinnia rejects Devoncorp's science, insisting the old ways, the meteor wishes, are the only truth. Yet she succeeds because mega power bridges ancient right and modern peril. This multiverse isn't abstract fan fiction. it's woven into the fabric. The link cable theory finds footing in how trades between original cartridges and remake data feel like cross-dimensional exchanges. Your Hoenn exclusive Latios from Emerald linking seamlessly with an ORAS Rayquaza that knows Mega Evolution. Game Freak nods to it through Zinnia's lore scrolls, hinting at other worlds glimpsed in the stars, and the infinite energy that birthed the Regis, those Braille-sealed golems who stand sentinel across both eras. Even the champions differ subtly. The original Stephen wanders as geologist-poet, while his remake counterpart delves into megastones, his burden heavier with timeline-shaping tech. The fate of Hoenn hinges on that one fulcrum, Mega Evolution's arrival or absence. Without it, the region endures as a primal paradise, land and sea in eternal tension. Rayquaza, a distant ozone sentinel. With it, your cataclysms multiply. Primal awakenings demand mega counters, meteors demand spaceflight, and Deoxys demands a dragon's full ascension. Parallel Hoenns branch like roots from Kyogre's oceans, one serene cycle bound, the other dynamic, ever escalating toward the multiverse's edge. Which one feels more real to you? The one you first saved in 2002, or the one that carried you to the stars? These timeline fractures pull at every nostalgic thread, reminding us how Hoenn's secrets multiply when you peer beyond the surface. And as we trace those inspirations back to the volcanic heartlands and misty craters of Kyushu Island itself, you'll uncover even more layers waiting in the next chapter, the real-world inspiration. While parallel Hoenn timelines twist and branch like roots beneath the earth, the region's very shape pulls straight from our world. The rugged outline of Kyushu Island, flipped 90 degrees counterclockwise to form Hoenn's volcanic heart and coastal fringes. You can trace it on a map tonight. Kyushu's explosive central mountains become Hoenn's fiery spine. Its steaming hot springs mirror the soothing baths of weary trainers. And ancient calderas echo the deserts, where secrets lie buried under endless sands. Kyushu pulses with raw geological fury, much like the chaos Groudon and Kyogre unleash. Take Mount Aso, one of the world's largest active calderas, a colossal crater 5 miles wide, where steam vents hiss like primordial dragons awakening. This is Mount Chimney in flesh and fire, its cable car routes twisting up slopes blanketed in ash. Just as Team Magma's polluted skies choke Route 111 and smother nearby towns in grey haze. You feel the heat rising through your soles as you stand at Aso's rim, peering into the Nakadake crater where turquoise pools bubble with sulfuric fury. Lava glowing faintly beneath. Hikers there whisper of earthquakes shaking the ground, mirroring the primal roars that split Hoenn's continents. And on windy days, the ash drifts south toward Minami Aso's ruins, evoking the ancient relics scattered across Route 114, where Reggie puzzles hide in the dust. Just downhill from that volcanic blaze lies Beppu, a geothermal wonderland of 9 hells, steaming vents called Jigoku, or hellscapes, where blood-red ponds boil at 200 degrees Fahrenheit and dragon-like spouts shoot water 100 feet high. Lavaridge Town captures this perfectly, those communal hot springs where you soak away the grime of Jagged Pass. The egg gifted by an old woman hatching into a fiery togepi, all drawn from Beppu's onsen culture, where locals bury themselves in scalding sands for health. Picture the steam cloaking your skin as you descend into Beppu's Umi Jigoku, sea hell, its cobalt waters churning endlessly. It's the same misty veil over Lava Ridge Gym, where Flannery's Torkoal bellows flames amid the therapeutic haze, a nod to Kyushu's belief that these waters heal body and spirit after nature's tantrums. Kyushu doesn't just lend its landscapes, it infuses Hoenn with Shinto's reverence for kami, the spirits dwelling in every rock, river, and gust. In Japanese folklore, nature isn't tamed, it's alive, capricious, demanding balance through rituals at shrines perched on volcanic rims. Groudon embodies the earth kami, a land-raising deity like those in Ainu tales of mountain gods who forge islands from clay, their rage birthing quakes and eruptions. Kyogre channels the sea dragon Ryujin, serpentine lords of the deep who flood coasts in wrathful storms, their scales shimmering like the bioluminescent waves off Kyushu's shores. Rayquaza soars as the sky tengu or stormbird, a mediator from ancient myths where wind spirits quell floods and fires, retreating to ethereal peaks, much like the ozone layer's invisible throne. These aren't loose borrowings. Game Freak wove Shinto polytheism into Hoenn's core, where every cave and fall hosts a shrine, echoing Torii gates at Uso's base. The Draconids, with their meteor-summoning dances, and mirror Yamabushi ascetics, who commune with mountain kami through perilous climbs. Their prophecies etched in stone, like the folklore carvings at Kyushu's Kumano shrines. Even the orbs, red for Magma's heart, blue for ocean's abyss, recall Tamashii vessels, holding a spirit's essence, protected by guardians who perform endless Kagura dances to appease the primal forces. You sense it in Meteor Fall's cascading veils, water thundering like ritual drums, invoking the animistic pulse that makes Hoenn's legends feel timeless, as if the land itself breathes through Rayquaza's coils. Layered atop Shinto's spirits are echoes from the Bible, where ancient texts paint cosmic beasts locked in eternal strife. Groudon strides as Behemoth, the land-shaking colossus from Job's visions, tail like a cedar threshing mountains, bones of bronze forged in Earth's forge, devouring grass continents in insatiable hunger. Kyogre surges forth as Leviathan, the coiling sea terror with scales impenetrable as shields, flames spewing from mouths that swallow fleets, storms whipped from its thrashing fins to drown the world. Rayquaza reigns as Ziz, the sky-spanning griffin whose wings eclipse the sun, a divine arbiter diving from heavens to bind the warring pair, enforcing fragile peace amid the roar. These parallels aren't coincidence. Early Pokémon developers nodded to global mythologies, blending Judeo-Christian apocalypse with Eastern harmony. Picture the Sootopolis clash. Rain-lashed skies parting for Rayquaza's emerald descent. Primal reversions glow like angelic fire, halting the biblical flood and drought in one serpentine swoop. Kyushu's own folklore amplifies this. Tales of Yamata no Orochi, the eight-headed serpent slain by storm god Susanoo, prefiguring Rayquaza's role, while Uso's craters recall the void before creation, when land and sea wrestled in godly fury. Verdant Turf Town's pristine air, spared from chimneys ash by mountain winds, draws from Kikuchi's valleys, where fresh breezes heal the volcano scarred, home to Wally's quiet resolve amid wild herds. Slateport's bustling docks mirror Hakata's ports, first taste of contests, where egos flare like festival fireworks. Even Littleroot's sleepy fields echo Oita's rural starts, Professor Birch fleeing Poochyena packs through bamboo groves. As these real-world threads weave tighter, they reveal Hoenn not as fantasy, but a mirror to our fragile balance. Volcanoes that birth and bury, ink springs that soothe and scald, spirits demanding respect lest they reclaim it all. And in that rhythm of rise and ruin, we glimpse the eternal cycle awaiting us next, where creation's wheel spins without end, pulling legends back into clash once more. Those ancient Shinto kami, whispering through Kyushu's steaming volcanoes and mist-shrouded hot springs, found their perfect echo in Hoenn's colossal guardians, Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza, forces of land, sea, and sky, locked in an unending dance of creation and destruction. This triad didn't just shape Hoenn's rugged coasts and vast oceans. They etched a blueprint for Pokémon's evolving mythology, one that ripples forward through every generation that followed. Think back to those primal clashes eons ago, when Groudon's earth-shaking roars birthed continents from molten depths, yet only for Kyogre's tidal fury to swallow them in abyssal waves. Rayquaza, ever the aloof mediator from the stratosphere, descended time and again, its serpentine form coiling through storm clouds to enforce a fragile truce, sending the Titans into slumbering hibernation. The Draconids, those meteor-worshipping sentinels of meteor falls, understood this rhythm intimately. 2,000 years past, they channeled a falling star's power to rouse Rayquaza against the beast's rampage. 1,000 years later, another celestial harbinger cratered the earth at Sootopolis, igniting the duo once more, until Rayquaza mega-evolved in a blaze of meteorite energy, the world's first such transformation, reverting the primal chaos and sealing the cycle anew. They built the Sky Pillar as a beacon, etching prophecies into stone. The stars would align again, the struggle reborn. And reborn it was in our own era, when Team Magma and Team Aqua pried the red and blue orbs from their guardians at Mount. Pyre awakening the legends in a deluge of drought and flood. Sootopolis drowned in clashing tempests, the sky splitting open for Rayquaza's intervention, or in the remakes, your own hand guiding the dragon to primal reversion. Emerald balanced the scales further, pitting both teams against the world's fate, crowning you champion amid the fray. But Hoenn's genius lies in refusing resolution. This wasn't a one-off cataclysm, it's the eternal cycle, a cosmic heartbeat. Landmass expands, seas reclaim, skies intervene, mirroring nature's own relentless churn. Human ambition merely fans the flames, as Maxie and Archie's hubris proves, yet the guardians endure, slumbering until the next imbalance calls. This legacy seeped into Pokémon's DNA, influencing every region since. Sinnoh's Lake Guardians embodied creation's triad, echoing Rayquaza's oversight. Unova's Reshiram and Zekrom wrestled ideals and truth in dualistic fury, primal forms nodding to Hoenn's reversions. Even Kalos, tied through King Az's ancient tree at the Cave of Origin, birthed Mega Evolution from that first Rayquaza flare. The Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire remakes amplified it all. Primal roars shaking screens, Deoxys twisting multiversal threads via the Delta episode, link cable glitches hinting at parallel Hoenns where meteor paths diverged. Hoenn taught us balance isn't stasis, it's dynamic tension. Groudon's drought cracks the earth for new growth. Kyogre's floods carve fertile deltas. Rayquaza's megaton blasts purge excess. Each essential, none victorious forever. But the Draconids foresaw it. Meteors return every millennium, orbs tempt the foolish, skies crack open. In a world of endless remakes and sequels, Hoenn's lore ensures the cycle spins on, inspiring Arceus's Dialga Palkia skirmishes, or Paldea's treasure hunts gone awry. Yet amid this cosmic churn, Hoenn reveals its quiet poetry. Sail Slateport's bustling harbours at dusk, where contest hall lights flicker like distant stars. Soak in Lava Ridge's steaming pools, steam curling like dragon breath. Wander Verdanturf's pristine meadows, untouched by Chimney's ash veil. Meteor Falls cascades in eternal silver veils, hiding Draconid chants. Sootopolis gleams in its crater bowl. Cave of Origin pulsing with primal heartbeats. Sky Pillar pierces clouds, a spire of forgotten oaths. Here, mystery and peace entwine. The region that birthed Pokémon's grandest legends cradles infinite secrets, ruins whispering of Regirock golems stirring beneath sands, orbs glowing faintly on Mount, Pyre's spectral peaks. No final victory shatters the wheel. Instead, harmony blooms in the pause between tempests. A land-sea-sky symphony, inviting you to return, always. As the stars wheel overhead, much like those Draconid harbingers, Hoenn's guardians watch from their lairs, ready for the next verse in their timeless saga. What did you think of this journey? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If this changed your perspective or taught you something new, consider subscribing for more mind-expanding content. And if you know someone who would find this as fascinating as you did, share it with them. These are the kind of conversations that matter.